Tonight at Pray It Off, I'm McCauley. We're going to talk about carbohydrates. Now, a lot of people think they know everything there is to know about carbohydrates. And I think because I, as a facilitator, write too many carbs, many people in the group might think I think all carbs are bad, or why is she writing that? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight because you need carbohydrates. They're an ideal source of energy for the body. They convert readily into glucose, and it's a form of sugar that's used by the body, and it's used for that energy. And it helps our mood, our whole being is that conversion of the carbs into energy. When I write carbohydrates on your paper, it's not because you're having too much barley or too many chickpeas or parsnips. I never said too many parsnips. Cut it out. It's when, as I said before, bagel, PB&J, pizza. Oh my gosh, where's the protein? So we're going to talk about the balance between the complex and the simple carbohydrates. Look at the list there. Bananas, barley, beans, brown rice, chickpeas, nuts, parsnips, potatoes. If you're having a small baked potato with dinner, that's not bad. But if you're loading it with sour cream and butter and all those accoutrements, there's two kinds of loggers in this group. The teacher types who write one small potato with 1 pat of low-fat margarine, or with 2 sprays of I can't believe it's not butter. And then there's the people who just write potato. Potato. Now it could be the biggest honking potato you've ever seen in your life. It could have been loaded with bacon and sour cream, but they just write potato. They're not lying, they hit a potato. But the devil is in the details, okay? And then there's the whole grain cereals, the whole grain pasta, yams. And then there's some simple carbohydrates. The simple carbohydrates are also known as sugars. It can be natural, as in fruits and veggies, and it's also found in the biscuits, the cake, the pastries, chocolate, honey, jams, jellies, pizzas, prepared food, soft drinks, sweet and snack bars, otherwise known as your basic Pray It Off log. No, only kidding. But there is a lot of those choices on the log. And the thing is also, it's what we almost seem to crave. Is it nature? Is it nurture? Is our body made up in such a way that we have a predisposition to want those foods? Or did you grow up and you come home and you tell your mother you had a bad day at school and she gives you a bowl of ice cream? Or every night in your family was pizza and chip night on Fridays or whatever. Was it learned behavior, or is it something within your composition? But what happens when you have too much of the simple carbs over and over again, your body is going crazy trying to convert it into energy, and then it wreaks havoc on your whole system. Because if you have excess glucose, this is converted into glycogen, which is stored in the liver or in fat around the body. You can have peaks and drops in your blood sugar levels, then you get irritable and you feel like you need something. It's a vicious circle. You know, I'm tired and irritable, I'm going to have this snack, and then you feel good for a little while later, I'm tired and irritable, I'm going to have another snack. You know, you need it. You need to get half your energy from carbohydrates, but it's the choices of, no one had kashi for breakfast, and then for lunch they had turkey on 40-calorie bread, and for dinner they had like a whole wheat pasta, and then they had no snacks, and they exercised and lost 2 pounds. I never wrote too many carbs on that person's log, ever. I'm not saying carbohydrates are bad. It's when you have too many simple. And you're not doing your body any favor. favors. I'm not going to ask people to raise their hands if they have adult onset diabetes. But boy, there's a lot of people in the room that do have it. And you can regulate it, and I'm sure you're talking to a doctor, I'm sure you're going for help, but are you really following a lot of these guidelines, trying to get the more complex ones there? And it even tries to give you suggestions. Lean protein, fish, chicken. There are people, and I've said it maybe a gazillion times, that go through the whole day with no protein whatsoever. No fruits, no veggies. They have, carb for breakfast, carb for lunch, carb for dinner, and then they wonder why they're not sleeping well. Or by the way, someone wrote sleep under exercise, and I asked them about it. I said, what were you doing when you were sleeping? And they were surprised. They go, I wrote that? I go, yeah, here it is right here. Don't write that unless, and maybe I don't want it now, but anyway, be careful what you write down there for exercise. It's got to be 20 minutes or 10. If you're with advanced age or something's not well with you and you're doing 10 minutes, hallelujah. But if you're a younger person, 20 minutes really is considered exercise. Now, I've said if you keep a pedometer and you walk, 18,000 steps in a day, write that down. I'm going to stop there, Bob, and I'm going to talk next about